Hello everybody and welcome into the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series live from Sin City. That's right, it's the Las Vegas Motor Speedway and we got 134 laps of fast-paced action for you here tonight. Thank you all so much for tuning in. You are watching Austin Green on Ghost Racing Network. Drivers getting ready to roll off the grid, so with that, let's go ahead and get into your starting order here on the night. Austin Fitzgerald will take the pole. He loves this track. Las Vegas native, looking to see if he can get it done at his home track here on the night. Andrew Morales will roll off second. Highest starting rookie in the field here tonight. Back in third, it's Jeff Marble. Alan Pajari in fourth. Tracy Powers in fifth. Michael Mueller back in sixth. Tyler Marble in seventh. Anthony Hanley in eighth. Brian Conklin in ninth. And it's Wes Hurd Jr. rounding out your top 10. Moving on back to row 6, another rookie in Troy Baker. To his outside, Ryan Shiro making up that 12th spot. Back in 13th, it's going to start Quentin Clark with Jacob Musso to his outside in 14th. Jake Hickson, boy, you're going to hear this name a lot tonight. How about out of the gates, 2 for 2? Back-to-back wins for the rookie for Dynamic Autosports. Looking to see if he can make it 3 in a row here tonight at Vegas. Roger Shelton will roll off to his outside in 16th. Danny Gutierrez in 17th with Matthew Gearinger in 18th. Moving on back and rounding out your top 20, it's going to be Greg Bartlett and Jared Bundy. Ty Ippolito starts back in 21st. Kyle Oakley in 22nd. Jeff Shutt 23rd. Scott Glasso 24th. Nick Sitchie in 25th with Cody Matthews to his outside in 26th. Kenneth Bartholomew, another one of the rookies, he will roll off 27th. Bill Benedict to his outside in 28th. It's going to be Thomas O'Hara back in 29th. And Brandon Saylor rounding out your top 30. Moving on back to that 31st position tonight, it'll start Rodney Pitcock. 32nd is going to be Andrew Russo. Johnny McCultrup for No Excuses Racing in 33rd. Todd Shiro 34th. Ryan Haynes in 35th. Glenn Grigsby 36th. Brett Spott in 37th. Cody Colley in 38th. Christopher Hall in 39th. And rounding out a full 40-car field here tonight is going to be Jeffrey Souza in the 96 machine. Race info, breakdown of the night. It's the Las Vegas Spring 200. 134 laps, the scheduled distance here on the night. Everybody does have 100% fuel, 4 sets of tires, no fast pairs, open setups as always, and 3 green-white checkered. Las Vegas Motor Speedway just over 1.5 miles in length. Fast corners, high banking, 85 degrees the starting track temp, weather outside 66. Slight breeze at 11 miles an hour, partly cloudy skies, and humidity at 26%. What a day to go racing in the desert, and what a race to have scheduled to kick us off part 3 of the season here. at Las Vegas and leading them to green. Again, the native Austin Fitzgerald out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Here we go. Green flag is in the air. We're underway at Vegas. Lap 1 complete, but it's not going to go to your pole sitter. Fitzgerald slid back to second by about half a car length. It was Angie Mraz working the outside that made it stick. They're going to stay 2 by 2 as they work their way through turns 1 and 2, trying to get this thing sorted out here early now. The restarts, this is where you got to make all your ground at Vegas while the tires are still fresh. These cars have a lot of downforce, but man, you put so much strain on that right rear through the course of a run that the best time to pass is here early. And I think that's why we're seeing the aggression level we are right now, just a couple rows back from the lead. Anthony Hanley in the 98 for Riot Motorsports trying to make a move here on the outside. That's the 25 of Tracy Powers just in front of him. The 99 of teammate Michael Mueller. He got a podium finish last week at Atlanta. Looking for more here tonight, but it is Alan Pajari who's going to settle into third just behind his teammate Austin Fitzgerald. That puts Dynamic Autosports second and third, looking to chase down the lead. 2 by 2 out of 4. No more moves here up front just yet. Further back, though, a couple guys still trying to get it sorted out. In fact, we might see a 3-wide pass here. Looking to the apron there. Thought the 77 of Greg Bartlett would think about a move, but he thought better of it. And this is his first race. I believe that might be another one of the rookies. Certainly haven't heard the name yet, but might be starting to hear it a lot tonight. Good qualifying effort. Got himself in the top 20. Jacob Musso just in front of him in the 95 machine for the Musso Speed Shop. And there you see the 3 of Jared Bundy. Had a lot of speed last week at Atlanta. Looking to see what he can do here tonight, but it's still early. And up front, the clean air is going to be key later in this run. But right now, the draft's still keeping everybody pretty honest and pretty even. In fact, we're going to go hop on board here back in the pack with Alan Pajari. For Dynamic Autosport, you saw him jump to the outside. He's looking to see if he can square up a little bit of a run right here. And it's enough to get to the back of the 97, but not enough to make a pass as they work into turn 3. He is choosing that high side right now, and with the cooler track temp, that bottom's going to be hard to pass with as much grip as he's rolling down there. The 97, that is, of Andrew Mraz. But here we go. Look at the speeds. Down into turn 1 with the draft, about 192 miles an hour for Alan Pajari. And again, when he gains on the straightaway, he's got to sacrifice in the corner. Of course, you get in the dirty air, and no longer is that draft helpful as it is on the straight. But here we go. Austin Fitzgerald now stuck on the outside. Anthony Hanley looking to make a move to the inside. Now I'm thinking this is some of that veteran presence from a guy who knows how to get it done at this track. We saw it last season, and we might see it very well again this season. Jeff Marble just behind him now in the 15 Ford Mustang. But what I'm watching here is as Fitzgerald slides back, again, notice what he's doing. He's doing it nice and methodically. I think that's by design. I think what you're seeing is the 74 realizing that there's no real need to push the issue right now. As a matter of fact, I think he's more than fine with sticking where he is, saving a little bit of tire so that he's got something to get back around these guys as we go through the rest of this first run. And now looking at fuel for these guys and what it's going to set up, probably somewhere between 65 and 70 laps. That's at least how far you can go on fuel. Question is, do the tires hold out that long? We'll have to find out, but if I took some notes from when I ran NIS the other day, it was fixed setups. But man, these things just got so loose towards the end of the run now. Since these guys have open setups, they make their own adjustments. So everybody's got the car handling the way they want it to drive, whether you set your car up to be fast on the short run, the long run, or a little bit of both. I think you're going to need a little bit of both here if you want to have success tonight at Vegas. And it's an interesting track too, and as fast as it is, there is some pretty gnarly bumps as you work through 1 and 2. In fact, you see the 48, the back end wobble up just a little bit right there for Tyler Marble, in fact, as he worked his way through 1 and 2. And that's just the bumps getting that car a little bit upset. The rear end provides a lot of downforce with that diffuser until it hits the ground. All of a sudden, that air that's working as extra downforce becomes turbulent, and the car gets loose, slips up the track. But we do have a couple onboard cams. We'll hold off on those. Looks like Greg with trouble here. Bill Benedict maybe as well as he gets split 3 wide. The 77 machine there. What a save for Greg Bartlett. I think he went through the grass. And now you see all the chaos this is causing behind. 3 wide in the middle goes Scott Glasso into Jimmy John's number 4 machine. And everybody not going to go up the spot. The 77, though, is going to have to give way into turn number 3. He's got a car that's going to go by on the inside and the top. That's the 31 machine taking the top lane of Matthew Gearinger. 24, a couple spots behind as well. Brandon Saylor, one of the rookies. Roger Shelton. How about Rodney Pitcock in the 1 car just behind all this mess? And just in front of him, the 42 of Roger Shelton had to check up a little bit, and you wonder if that little bit of I'm not going to call it a mistake. In fact, before I call it anything else, let's go back and take a look exactly what happened here. They got the 77 out of shape. Ooh, yikes. He gets some help there from the 42. Roger Shelton, there is some heavy contact right there off the corner. Sends him down through the grass. What a save, though. Again, able to keep himself composed. Something you don't see all the time as a rookie. The panic can set in, but Greg Bartlett right there with a really nice piece of driving to keep that car together. And we're going to actually go to the chop review for this so that we get a little bit of a better angle on exactly what gets him here. Does he get tight? Does the 42 get tight, or is it a little bit of both here? See, the 77 is on his outside now. Roger Shelton is caught in the dirty air, and I mean, it's close. The 77, I guess, has a little bit more room to drift up to the wall, but looks to me like he's still running his line, and I think the 42 was maybe just thinking he was going to drift up a little more or just got a little bit tight. But either way, it was a phenomenal save from both drivers to keep the car straight, keep us under green flag racing. 13 of 134 laps now complete in the Las Vegas Spring 200. And up front, leading the way, it is Andrew Mraz in the 97 machine. Just behind him, Alan Pajari second, Michael Mueller, another rookie, in third. Continue the rookie trend with the rookie back in fourth. Rounding out your top 5 right now is Austin Fitzgerald in that 74 car. Well, now that we have a chance, it seems like the chaos has calmed down at least momentarily. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the onboard cams that we have here tonight. First up, captain himself, Jeff Marble, working the wheel here early. And notice, Vegas, again, not as smooth of a driving track as you would think. And right now, Jeff just trying to mind every little bump that he gets in the corner. In fact, we're going to go to the onboard views for a couple of these. Go to the roll bar for Jeff. And watch here as he gets down into the corner. You can see the steering wheel just a little bit in the bottom left. The hands are working, keeping that car straight. Looking to pick up a couple spots right now as he is down 3 from where he started. But I'm thinking there's a little bit of tire saving going on right there for now. I think we'll see him indeed pick up some of those spots again as we continue to move through the rest of the run. Similar to what I think we're going to see, of course, from Austin Fitzgerald here in just a little bit. Next up, another one of the Team Marble iRacing drivers. It's Tyler Marble in the 48, another driver that we know has a ton of speed when it comes to these mile-and-a-half tracks with this package. A little bit less downforce, a little bit more horsepower. That's what all these guys prefer. And right now, currently down 4 spots, back to 11th, but still a good run going at the current moment as we continue to work our way back through the field. Next up, on deck, if you will, we talked a little bit earlier about Rodney Pitcock and the run he was having. He's in 24th, but he is up 7 spots from where he started this race at. And so the 1 car currently on the inside of Jacob Musso. Again, only a couple races under his belt in the Cup Series. And when you hop into a league this competitive, it takes some time. It is a little bit of a learning curve. Not everybody just is able to hop in here and do what we saw from the Dynamic Autosports rookie of Jake Hickson. Don't have an onboard for him tonight, but boy, we're going to be talking about him here in just a moment and the things he's accomplished just 2 races into the season. But as we go back a little bit further to one of the fan favorites, Kyle Oakley, made the shift to teams this season. Boy, what a great job he's been doing so far right now, keeping it nice and smooth, up 7 from where he started, breaking into the top 15. I gotta assume he's got a Ryko set on that 17 machine, dark horse this week. It seems like it's pretty fast from the start. Heard all week throughout testing to different guys that I know on Ryko that the set was really good this week. Not sure 100% if that's the one Oakley's using, but the sponsor seems to fit the meta. And oh, we got some trouble here on the front stretch. Quentin Clark, hold your breath here. Does everybody get around looking for the trouble here? No caution yet. There's the trouble. Up front, 3 wide. Everybody's trying to miss it. The 24 Sailor gets into Benedict. Benedict tags the inside wall, comes back up. Looks like he saves it. Meanwhile, Oakley was able to split this mess. Okay, it is still a gaggle back here of everybody trying to get the momentum back after the near miss we had. That collected a bunch of cars, including Jeff Marble, who's actually slipped back now. Oh my goodness. Bunch of trouble here. This happened back at turn 2. Let's back this up here as it seems like everything has finally calmed down and got sorted out. Again, this starts off at turn number 4, it appears. We're going to actually go back to the blimp cam. And it starts, we believe, with Quentin Clark. That 00 car running the bottom of the track. He's coming up the track. There's a gap between the 16 and the 25. Is he going to try to take it here? No, they actually wreck in front. I didn't even see that initially there. That's Jeff Marble. Gets together here with Alan Pajari. What in the world happened here? And this ended Pajari's race for the moment. He took it to the pits. Let's see from the chopper view where this whole thing goes wrong. Watch the 34 on the outside of 15 sliding up. Oh, I think Jeff's just getting tight. Again, almost a similar incident to what we saw a couple laps ago with Roger Shelton and Greg Bartlett, where it just seems like maybe Jeff was expecting Pajari to go up a little bit more. At the same time, maybe getting a little bit tight. Let's see if we can take an onboard view. Yeah, that car slips a little bit on him there. You got to think that played a pretty big role in it. Watch the steering wheel. It's the quick adjustment that gives it away. You see he's putting the wheel right, boom, there's the quick adjustment. Back end maybe just slightly bumps out on him. And Pajari's running him really, really tight, but nothing Pajari's doing wrong. And then once they make contact, they get stuck together. Sends the 34 up into the wall, and then it hooks the 15 into the outside wall as well. They both save it, but I mean, at this point, the damage is done. Everybody's trying to check up to miss it as it doesn't draw the caution. You see we got guys going through the grass. That was Ty Iopolito. And again, somehow everybody misses it. You did see Bill Benedict get shot down towards the inside wall and actually make a little bit of contact. But he was able to get back running on the track. Here's that impact for the 90 car. And there's no safer barrier down there. It's all concrete, and yikes, that's a pretty big hit on the left front. One of the really sensitive areas on this car. If he broke a toe link, that could spell a lot of trouble for the 90 here. In fact, see if we can hop on board and see if it looks like it was broken. And the wheel looks relatively straight at that point. Man, what a tough break that is for all three of those guys. A lot of heavy hitters in that, including Pajari and Jeff Marble, who both had top 5 cars here early on in this race. And again, as we talked about, as a result, Pajari, he is still sitting on the pits. He may have decided to park it for the night. The damage that he received, although the car looking better. We'll see if he's able to get it back out on track. And then there's Bill Benedict. See the left side still scuffed up. He got it fixed to the best he could, but no fast repairs in the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. So whatever damage you sustain at any point in the race, you got to deal with the rest of the way. So again, that's a really, really tough break right there for Alan Pajari. Let's see if first of all, is he still on the pits? Yeah, it looks like he is for now. Let's see if we can get a quick word on exactly what happened right there for the driver of the number 34 for Dynamic Autosport. Hey, Alan, this is Austin up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, man, I don't mean to get you while you're down right here, but we saw some contact there between you and the 15. Looked like hard racing, but hard for us to tell exactly what caused you guys to get stuck together. Break it down a little bit for us if you don't mind.
It was 3 and 4. And as you know, it can get tight there for people, or people can get loose. And so I was pretty much keeping around the second lane, I believe. I didn't want to drift up next to the wall or anything like that. And I think Jeff just got a little close to me, and then we stuck together and went into the wall. So I think that pretty much explains it. But I don't know. I was running hard in the beginning. I probably shouldn't have, but I was running pretty hard, trying to keep up with the top 3 there.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say it's a tough break because of how fast you were there right off the start, but noticing the damage, I know that you now scored a couple laps down here, but is there any chance that you're able to get the car back out on track here and still try to scavenge some points?
I'll get back on track, but I got 10 minutes of damage. So
all right.
It's gonna be a bit.
Well, I was going to say, man, listen, not the way we wanted to talk to you, but we certainly appreciate you still giving us some feedback, and hopefully one of the dynamic guys can still bring it home, and we'll see you out here again next week.
That's the hope. Either Austin or Jake look pretty good right now in the top 5, so looks pretty good.
Sounds good. Well, thank you again for talking to us, Alan.
Yep, thank you.
Man, tough break, and I think he put it best there, just really hard racing, and I think he's right. Jeff maybe just got a little bit tight. But, man, we have got so many different things going on track right now. This was just a moment ago while we were talking right there to Alan Pajari. Quentin Clark slides up, gets really, really tight, and has to bail out of the throttle. There's the 12 of Wes Hurd Jr. Nowhere to go with the big run he's got. And, man, he gets into the back the 00, and yet again, what a save from one. Actually, I believe, I'm not sure, I don't think Wes Hurd Jr. is necessarily a rookie. He might have been, but At least one of them, Quentin Clark. What a save from this rookie right here. But, man, these guys are certainly on the edge right now. Handling going away a lot quicker than we expected here tonight at Vegas. Just a product of the hard racing that you get. But up front, the battle right now is between Andrew Mraz and his teammate Michael Mueller, who is actually caught up to the back of that 97 machine. And these two are teammates, but when you come to a mile and a half, teammates play a little bit less crucial of a role. You're not going to be trying to stick with your teammate like you did at the two plate tracks we were at the previous 2 weeks with Daytona and Atlanta. And so if Michael Mueller has a chance here, watch for him to make a move. He's been setting up the 97 here for the last couple laps. But no dice just yet. Now, important to note, these two have actually pulled away from third place right now, Austin Fitzgerald, by about 2.5 seconds. So a big gap right now for the two Riot Motorsports teammates. Fitzgerald, the highest running Dynamic Auto Sports driver at the current moment. Anthony Handley, another one of the Riot Motorsports drivers. And then there he is, Jake Hickson. Talked about you were going to hear his name at some point here tonight. How about this? 2 for 2 on the season as a rookie. Came out, got the job done at Daytona, and a 1-2 for Dynamic Auto Sports. What does he do next week at Atlanta? He comes out and gets the job done yet again, and another 1-2 for Dynamic Auto Sports. Boy, you know they like to do more of the same tonight. And they're off to a pretty good start here with two of their drivers in the top 5. It was 3 until Alan Pajari unfortunately got taken out in that incident just a couple handful of laps ago. Speaking of that incident, going back to one of the other guys involved in it, it was Jeff Marble, captain back in 35th, now down, of course, 32 spots. And you got to wonder if he had to go into the pits to get some of that damage repaired. In fact, taking a look at it here, I don't think he did. Yeah, it looks like that's just the amount of spots he lost as a result of all the damage that he still got there, especially on the right front. So I think he's just trying to, I don't want to say limp, but just do what he can here until we get to this first green flag stop, or, of course, even better, hoping for a caution. Yeah, you see that right front. That's pretty banged up. That car definitely does not have as much aero as it needs at a track like Las Vegas. So he's going to continue to slip back here and struggle until, again, we can either get a caution or he's able to take it in under green flag conditions and get some of that damage hammered out. We do have two other driver cams on the night. Haven't had a chance to talk about them just yet with all the chaos. But now that we get a chance, let's make a stop for one of the BMP Racing drivers. It's Ryan Haynes out of Center Hill, Florida. He's got a teammate in the field tonight, of course, with Brett Spott, and they're actually running pretty close together right now. Brett just a few spots up in 24th, Haynes back in 29th. But he is up 6 positions from where he started this race at. And so far, again, a pretty good run as you see him on the bottom. Ooh, just behind him. Couldn't tell, was that Troy Baker, I believe, that slipped up, and now he's going to have a choice here. Does he think about splitting 3 wide here as they work into the corner? Blinks a little bit, but he's going to be okay here as he does indeed set the move up on the 13 here of Nick Sitchie. Got to the inside. He's got some clean air on the front of that car. He'll try to make it work. Looks like he'll do so as they rock it down the front straightaway. Trying to get clear the hardest part here. You either commit or you hope the other guy bails out here. Looks like Haynes is not going to have to commit too hard to 13. No run, so that'll be another position gain now for the 39 if he slides up here. Haynes, though, is going to stay on the bottom. Give Sitchie a chance to get a little bit of a run back on the top side, down the back straightaway. And now officially as they go through 3 and 4, looks like he will be able to pick up that spot. Ryan Haynes continue to move through the field here. Last but certainly not least, making a stop at No Excuses Racing here for Johnny McCulchuk. But the run he's got going on right now currently sits in that 20th position. He's up 13 spots from where he started. Continuing to try to pick up a couple more. Another driver that likes the mile and a half. I believe he actually won at Kansas just the season before we started broadcasting for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. So we'll see what kind of speed he can continue to make here on the night. But that'll wrap it up for our driver cams, at least for the moment. In fact, I know we stopped at Rodney Pitcock earlier, but I mean, what a mix-up that we have had in the top 15 as a result of all the different struggles and chaos. And speaking of struggles, about this, Michael Mueller now, he has taken the lead from his teammate. And why I say that is because I think the 97 may be starting to struggle just a little bit. Austin Fitzgerald is now starting to track these guys down. Slowly but surely, that's the way you're going to see the veterans do it. A lot of speed out of the rookie here as well, though, for Jake Hickson. Right now, he's up 11, and again, gaining time just as his teammate Austin Fitzgerald is doing. And right now, it's Riot Motorsports versus Dynamic Auto Sports. I think you're going to see this gap continue to close here over the course of probably about the next 20 to 30 laps. That's when we are expecting that pit stop. Again, I think you can make it anywhere probably between 60 to 70 laps, depending on how much you push it, how far the tires feel like they can go. Now, to make this thing a one-stopper, you're going to have to make it 67 laps under green flag conditions, and I think that is doable if the tires can make that long. Fuel, though, is going to be really, really close. I think you get 65 on a full tank, but of course you're not full throttle around this track anymore, and the time fall off lap time wise is certainly pretty significant. But let's see how the gap is, the delta, if you will, for the leaders. 30.7 last lap. Let's see what it is this time for Michael Mueller as he crosses the stripe. He puts down a 30.773. Compare that out back to Andrew Mraz, who has now gotten caught by Austin Fitzgerald. Last lap was a 30.8, a little bit slower. You compare that to Austin Fitzgerald, 30.5 the last 3-4 laps. And so that tells you that 74, he's got long run speed. The way they set these cars up, you knew they were going to be fast with the notes they had to work off last season. Speed they've got here and now. If Fitzgerald gets by the 97, which I think he's going to do down the front. And there you go, utilizing that apron. We haven't seen too many guys trying it here tonight, but Fitzgerald needed to get away from the side draft that the 97 was trying to put on his right rear rather. And so he ducked below the apron, which you can do here. Ooh, man, close moment right there as the 97 got right to his left rear, getting into the corner there and working through the middle. I thought for sure that the 97 of Andrew Mraz was going to make contact with Fitzgerald, but they keep it clean and almost a good move back on the inside of the 97, but now he's going to lose that position again. I think Fitzgerald is going to sail off into the sunset here and set his sights on the leader, Michael Mueller. 43 laps complete. Taking a look at the track map now. Some separation really starting to form up here between the leaders and the rest of the pack, but the main battling that we've got going on right now is this battle for, looks like, the 14th spot rather. Brian Conklin leads it, making a position back. Kyle Oakley looking to see if he can now jump back inside the top 15. He's up 7 again from where he started, and he's got his hands full right now. He's about to be on the top of 3, almost 4 wide there as Johnny McCulchuk had a choice to make, stayed 3 wide, didn't try to make it 4. And you see the 20 getting a pretty good run. That's Ryan Sherrill with the Nerf paint scheme. The 01 of Rodney Pitcock, the one rather in the middle. And McCulchuk still on the bottom, 3 wide. Looks like he's going to be able to make a little bit more ground this time as he's still wrapping that white line all the way through turns 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Usually as that run goes on, you start to wonder which lane's going to become more favored, which lane does the rubber fill in first and get a little bit more grippy. And it looks like right now it is that bottom. See the most passes down there at least, but Kyle Oakley slipped back right there. Now he's still caught on the outside of 3 wide here. Watch the run in the middle of the 96 of Jeffrey Souza, who, by the way, started dead last. He has gained 20 positions from where he started. So I know a lot of guys were complaining about it's hard to pass here, but Souza making it look pretty easy, at least for the moment. 24 of Brandon Saylor right up to the back bumper now of Kyle Oakley. And Oakley's car is just struggling right now. He continues to fall back. He's trying to find a spot in line to maybe get back to the bottom. Oh, contact the 20. Tried to hold on there. That was Ryan Shearer. Looks like he saves it, but he has to bail to the pits as a result. The 1 of Rodney Pitcock falling positions rapidly as well. The 35 of Brett Spod able to clear it, as is his teammate Ryan Haynes. It just didn't know that, but 42. That was another close call right there as they worked their way off the corner as he raced alongside the 73 right there of Kenneth Bartholomew. Man, oh man. A lot of aggressive racing. I don't remember it being this aggressive last time we were here in the fall last season. My goodness. What a save that was from the 20 of Ryan Shearer, but what a tough break it was at the same time here. Not sure if he decided to take tires as well during this stop. Certainly was an unplanned one, that's for sure. He got some help, but it looks like he did, so decided to take full service. I'm pretty sure this was unplanned at least. Would be really surprised to see any of these guys making the pit this early here. But let's take a look here from the blimp cam and see, does he start checking up? Does the cars start to get a little loose on him here? No, he's checking up. I take it back. He's definitely trying to get down to the pits. But he's right in the racing line, and the 1 just has nowhere to go. Rodney Pitcock can't quite react quick enough. So he jumps up top after making contact with the 20. And again, everybody misses him, but no speeding penalty either. That definitely did kind of spark, though, the pit stops right here, I think, because now we're starting to see a couple of the other rookies bring it down here, including Rodney Pitcock. Got to wonder if his was from some of the damage he may have sustained on the front of his truck during that contact right there. Along with him, here comes the 18 of Troy Baker, making his first stop of the night. Looks like Danny Gutierrez is coming in as well, and caution is out. Trouble. Question is, where is it at? And right now, it's on the front straightaway. Trying to figure out exactly who that is. That's the 31 of Matthew Gearinger. And the Bass Pro Shop's themed, but it looks like it might say, does it say Roger Boats on the side? I think it does. Still got the Black Rifle Coffee Company, but I think it says Ranger Boats. But that's not the way he wanted the front of that paint scheme looking here. Heavy, heavy nose damage. Looks like he hit a light pole. And so 50 laps complete. So we see our first caution of the night here at Vegas. So let's go back and take a look at what brings it out here. Oh, he got up on the wall here before the contact actually spun him back around ever even occurred. Boy, he had been ripping that top lane here, at least for the entirety of this corner. Let's go to the cockpit view first. Gets into the corner. Oh, and he's in the dirty air right there of Kyle Oakley, and it just sucks him into the wall. Now he's stuck. He's trying to drive out of it. He does, but then he gets some help from behind. It's like by the 13 there of Nick Sitchie. And that's what gets him ultimately spun around here, and then trying to save it old tires. It's not an easy thing to do. Let's go to the chopper view. Show you exactly how this contact starts, and ultimately, of course, how it ends. So you go. Once he gets tight, he's in the wall. Here comes Nick Sitchie, who's also on the top groove, trying to miss him getting tight, but gets into his left rear and left fender. And then you see once they get connected, it's just going to spin the 13 back across the track, up into the outside wall. He's going to go. The 31 tank slaps it on the right side and then spins it back up the track. Lucky that that wasn't a lot worse than it was. And so while it is definitely going to be a fast, well, I say a fast drive, I'd say, well, it is definitely going to be fixing as much damage as you can for the 31. The 13 here of Nick Sitchie, maybe not too bad. He actually got saved here from clobbering the outside wall by the 31, who you see actually speeds up as he's pointed towards it and taps him in the right front. That straightens it back out. That may have saved his car here, but you wonder if it broke that right front toe link in the process. Let's take one more look at this here from TV3. That's just, I mean, just a little bit of, just a racing incident. I mean, I can't call any foul play there. Nothing either guy was doing wrong. Again, these cars can get just as tight as they can loose, especially when you get in the dirty air of a car in front. It looked like Gearinger, that happened to him, got up into the wall. The wall wants to suck you in, and he was trying to get the wheel to the left to get off of it. He did, but at the same time, Nick Sitchie had a run, was already committed to the outside, got up to his left rear, and once they bumped, the wreck was on from there, and the rest is history. So let's go back live now up front. Michael Mueller being scored as your leader. Fitzgerald, I'm thinking, may not have wanted to see that caution because he had a ton of long run speed, and I believe he was still catching the 99 at the time of that caution. Jake Hickson back in third. Andrew Mraz in fourth. Westherd Jr. fifth. Scott Glasso sixth. Tyler Marble seventh. Jared Bundy in eighth. Anthony Hanley in ninth. And Tracy Powers rounding out your top 10. Jeff Shutt 11th. Quentin Clark in 12th. Johnny McCulchuk 13th. Brian Conklin 14th. Jeffrey Souza 15th. Jacob Musso in 16th. Brett Spod in 17th. 18th is Ty Iopolito. Kenneth Bartholomew in 19th. And Roger Shelton rounding out your top 20. Ryan Haynes 21st. Cody Matthews 22nd. Andrew Russo 23rd. Thomas O'Hara 24th. Kyle Oakley in 25th. Greg Bartlett in 26th. Glenn Grigsby 27th. Christopher Hall 28th. Brandon R. Saylor in 29th. And Todd Shiro rounding out your top 30. Nick Sitchie 31st. Matthew Gearinger 32nd. Ryan Shiro 33rd. Jeff Marble in 34th. Danny Gutierrez 35th. Bill Benedict 36th. Troy Baker 37th. Rodney Pitcock, Cody Colley, and Alan Pajari have all retired from the race. They finished 38th through 40th. And by the way, it was so good to see Cody Colley scheduled to be back in the field tonight, but not sure what happened. The early trouble, we didn't actually get to see him really make any laps on track, so you hate that for Cody Colley, and was hoping to see him back racing here tonight, but we're going to have to wait another week, it seems like. And then an update on Jeff Marble, who's involved in that early caution. Good news for him with that caution. That right front looks a lot better than it did after first being involved in that wreck that just didn't draw the caution, so he's got that fixed up. Going to go back out on track, and now it's time to put the head down and start trying to get some of those positions back if you are Jeff Marble. So it's 53 of 134 laps now complete in the Las Vegas Spring 200. If you're just tuning in, we appreciate you being here. You are watching the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series on Ghost Racing Network. And what a start to the season it was. Of course, Daytona. And then last week we had Atlanta Motor Speedway. We still got to talk about points and the upcoming schedule after this. But for now, getting ready to get back to the racing and the green flag action that we see here on the night. And so I'm keeping an eye right now on what does Austin Fitzgerald do during this run now. This caution's a little interesting. We're going to be going back green here with it looks like right about 80 laps to go, 81 make it officially. So not quite good to go on fuel, but it does open the door for a little bit of strategy at play on when do you make that stop and what do you take. Now, if you're Austin Fitzgerald, you've had a great long-run car. He's proven that so far. Michael Mueller seems like he's had a good medium-range car, and his teammate, Andrew Mraz, has certainly had a very fast short-run car. So here we go. Time to find out how the strategy's changed, what adjustments these guys have made, and who is going to take the lead as we get ready to go back green here in Vegas. Not the best restart for the inside. I was expecting a bigger jump, but they're going to all stay right about even as they cross the stripe here with the green flag in the air. The 16 of Jake Hickson with a big push to the 99 of Michael Mueller as they get down into turn number 1. Everybody is on fresh tires, full fuel, so now as we're going to see a little bit of slipping and sliding for this first lap as the tires warm up and all that dirty air. It's really easy to get tight if you're back in the middle portions of this pack. The 16 machine jumping to the inside there again. Jake Hickson all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. Tyler Marble up top. As they cross the line, it is Austin Fitzgerald who is able to get out to a lead here. And that's different from what we saw in the initial start of the race. If that 74 can hold the front in some track position while still saving tire, I think it's going to be just a matter of time before he starts to pull away from the rest of the field. Further back, though, it's still a mad scramble for positions. Brian Conklin on the inside, one of the Team Marvel iRacing drivers, ducking out just behind him. Looks like it's going to be Cody Matthews, or rather I should say just a couple of spots behind him. Conklin trying to see if he can get a couple spots here while he's got the bottom. Even further back, Glenn Grigsby in the 64. He's got Thomas O'Hara just in front of him. 17. Kyle Oakley back here in this mix. And all the 2x2 racing maybe going to get a couple lanes stalled out. Does it get a chance here for Tracy Powers to think about trying to jump up top, maybe make a 3-wide move? Doesn't look like there's anything available just yet. Just in front of him, by the way, that is the 96 of Jeffrey Souza and Jared Bundy in the 3. Jeff Shutt in the 27, making his way through the field. But back up front, that 99 of Michael Mueller, he has not let the 74 go anywhere just yet. Sticking really close to the back bumper of Austin Fitzgerald. I think the thing that I'm most impressed about right now with these two Riot Motorsports cars is how close they're able to stay to the back bumper of the 74, even in dirty air. In fact, looked like there the 99 was going to have a chance to jump low. He's going to get that left side of the nose down just a little bit quicker than Fitzgerald. You wonder if that gives him the run he needs here down the front straightaway. As he puts the loud pedal down, it looks like he does have a run, but not enough to make a move, at least not yet. So you got a Chevy leading, looks like 3 Fords, followed by another Chevy, making 4 Fords, 5 actually, 6 with the 4. Ford's dominating Ford's dominating most of the front part of this pack. And then a little separation right there with the 4 car of Scott Glasso. Tyler Marble just behind him. Jared Bundy, Jeff Shutt, and Jeffrey Souza. And it looked like further back, I know I'd said Cody Matthews. I apologize. I think it was Ty Iopolito. I may have saw. Yeah, it was. Cody Matthews, I forgot, got a different paint scheme. Ty Iopolito, similar scheme from a distance to what we saw Cody Matthews. But Ty Iopolito, he's got a good night going so far himself. Been giving his teammates a lot of attention, but another one of the rookies who has came out firing on all cylinders since the start of the season and helping Dynamic Autosports, of course, in the team points. These guys were to have it, and then also the big one in him for himself in driver points. Right now, he sits comfortably inside that top 10 battle. The 72 of Johnny McCulchuk just in front of him. Johnny is really putting together a good run up to this point. Now he's almost inside the top 10. I'm telling you, I think if he can get within the first couple rows for a restart here, the 72 may have a car to go out and try to start leading this race. Maybe start trying to set himself up for the latter portions of this run. By the way, I mean, you do the math of when we had that first caution and when we could expect maybe one more caution. That would put us right around maybe 20, 25 laps to go. And so I think right now it's all about trying to get some track position and then settling in for this long run. Again, if we stay green, we're still expecting one more green flag pit stop. There's just a little bit of a question on exactly when we're going to see that stop. Back up front, you see Fitzgerald has lost the lead to the 2 Riot Motorsports teammates. Again, I think he didn't fight him too hard for it. Was okay with these two getting the lead. He's going to stick in their draft for now, just keep even. I think he's going to wait to start making moves again as the tires start to wear out. And as he jumps up top, his teammates, right there, Jake Hickson, he's going to actually fall a spot to Wes Hurd Jr. in the 12. That puts Wes up 6 spots from where he started. 27 to Jeff Shutt on the outside here of Jared Bundy. Conklin still looking for a couple positions. Ooh, he tried to slide up the outside right there. There was a spot, a brief gap for just a quick moment in front of the 19 behind the 25. But there was nothing working there, so they had to jump back down. Tell you what, the thing, though, that still makes Vegas so fun for all these drivers is that you can pretty much work any lane. And sometimes when you're back in traffic, the best lane to go with is the lane that there's nobody else in. Get a little bit of clean air, a little bit more front downforce. It really starts to become important as this run goes on and the tires start to give way. And here's a run right now from Brian Conklin in the 37. By the way, just about 3 laps from halfway as they cross the start-finish line this time. Michael Mueller still being scored as your leader. And it's been a little bit of a split so far here tonight between him and his teammate Andrew Moraz on who has led the most laps. One thing we do know is that Riot Motorsports as a team has certainly led the most laps up to this point tonight. I like what they did on those Dark Horse Mustangs. Notice the decal there at the front, the headlights and the grille, that similar to what you would see on, of course, any of the, I believe it's the Richard Childress Racing Mustangs. Good looking schemes and good looking design there for Riot Motorsports. And so as Wes Hurd Jr. took that 3rd spot, looks like the 16, Jake Hickson, has been able to settle in behind his teammate now, Austin Fitzgerald. Watch for those two to try to ride and get comfortable here for a little bit. See how long Tyler Marble's content to stay back in that 6th spot. Scott Glasso 7th. Here's Jared Bundy back in 8th. Anthony Hanley in 9th. And Jeff Shutt still rounding out your top 10. And one of the beauties that we see in this series is all the drivers that love this league enough to the point where they sponsor it. Jeff Shutt, a big part in what Capital Auto Group does, of course, for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. And then I know we were talking about him just a couple laps ago, but can't forget about Brian Conklin, all he does for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. Of course, the title sponsor is the FastTrack Sim, or excuse me, of course, the title sponsor is the Alloy Wheel Repair Specialist. They are the main sponsor for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. Can't forget about Butt Kicker, the Noble 5, all these different events that we've got, the sponsors, and how about one of the new sponsors this year from one of the teams in themselves, and that goes all the way back right now to the 30th position. Brett Spod for BMP Racing has brought on Bushnell Motorsports Park. Him and Ryan Haynes, the 2 teammates, owner and co-owner, or manager, if you will, of Bushnell Motorsport Park. Make sure you go check them out if you live anywhere in the Florida area. Outdoor go-kart track. Looks like a ton of fun if you go to check that out this Friday, just before spring break gets kicked up for us. And back to the front we go, where it is still Michael Mueller leading his teammate. I'm surprised that there's been no gap stretched out between these two just yet. I mean, you figure we've gotten a couple handful of laps now under our belt since the last restart. Usually tires can fade out here by the time you're at lap 20, so you start to wonder if the guys who save tires start to prevail and the guys who have been burning tire start to maybe fade a little bit. Certainly doesn't look like the case for your top 3 just yet, but your top 2 have started to slowly get some breathing room. From 3rd place, Wes Hurd Jr. making about half a second. But that draft's just so strong here at Las Vegas that you really got to get enough of a gap to where nobody's got a draft off of you before you can really start to separate yourself away from the rest of the field. It's going to be 70 laps when we cross the line this next time. That will make it 65 laps to go here in Sin City. And with that knowledge up front, pretty single file out back, a little bit of racing, but all in all, it is Michael Mueller leading at Vegas. We're going to take a quick break. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Back live at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for the Las Vegas Spring 200. Out in front, it is still the rookie Michael Mueller for Riot Motorsports. Second, he's got a teammate right now, Andrew Mraz. But now what we're starting to see is the guys who maybe were saving a little tire pulling themselves right back into the mix. Guess who? Jake Hickson in third. He's up 12 from where he started. But Wes Hurd Jr. not backing down. Did lose that spot to the 16. Oh, man. Gave him a big push right there getting into turn 3. You saw the 16 start fishtailing. Man, that was a close call. A lot of aggression right there out of the 12, trying to see if he can help push the 16 back to the front. You can bump draft in these cars even at 1.5 miles, but you got to be real careful in doing so. Now it looks like Wes Hurd thought about making a move to the high side. He's still going to try it. Tap the outside wall. They're getting into turn number 1. That'll allow Jake Hickson to jump up a lane and fend him off. And so everybody looks like they're feeling comfortable now, starting to push the tires, except for Austin Fitzgerald. I'm telling you, he's got the strategy. Everybody's pushing their tires now. He knows. He's been here before. He's done this multiple times. He knows it's not quite time just yet. And so he'll continue to save these tires, methodically work his way through. And when everybody else starts to struggle and falls off, watch for the 74 to do exactly what he did on the long green flag run where he had at the start of the race, all the way until we had that first caution, where he just slowly picks his way through the field all the way until he gets up to the lead. So Michael Mueller seeing this battle in his mirrors, giving him a chance to start to slowly pull back out to a little bit of a gap. Jake Hickson, though, still in third. He is racing hard with Wes Hurd Jr. I mean, these two are going at it. See, the 16 gets the run. He's going to pull back down. Usually, at this point in the run, you don't see guys able to race this hard. The tire fall-off's too great. But, man, the 12 and the 16 must have pretty good setups out of those cars to be racing this hard this late in the run. Now, again, it's going to be 80 laps complete when we cross the line next time, and how that sets us up, in terms of pit strategy at least, is that we're going to go, I believe here, probably maybe to right around lap 100 before you see anybody pit, maybe a little bit sooner. But everybody is in the fuel window officially at this point. It's 55 laps to go. You can make 65 at minimum on fuel. So now that everybody's going to go on fuel, if we get a caution from any point here on out, that would eliminate any chance of a green flag stop. And as a driver, it definitely makes you a little nervous, because when you pit here, if you take 4 tires and fill it up with fuel, you're going to lose a lap. It's just too much time getting on, off, and then sitting in your box on pit road to not. So you want to go in early. You want to try to get the jump on everybody else, but if you go in too early, you can cost yourself. As here we go, 3 wide down the front stretch. On the inside, it's Jake Hickson. On the outside, Wes Hurd Jr. The 97 in the middle. Oh, my goodness. Got clear, but not by much. What a move by Hickson. The 97 going to battle back on the inside. Andrew Mraz with a run, trying a crossover. He's got to stay on his quarter panel here if he wants a side draft down the back. He's able to do so. Is it enough into turn 3? They're going to stay even. Wes Hurd Jr. ripping the wall. He is up there on the cushion. No more room to go up. If he does, he's going to tap the outside wall. The 97 gets clear. Marble says, I don't think so. I've got to run, and you better not try to block it. And so now that Tyler jumps to the outside, the 97 gets split in the middle again. As on the inside goes Scott Glasso. And this is where guys start to slip up. You got to be really careful here. Marble with another big run on the outside. He's able to make the momentum stick, and he stays even here. On the inside, that was Glasso, but here's Marble. This time he is going to have a chance to take a look to the inside. Gets clear of Glasso. Makes that dive to the inside of Wes Hurd Jr. And so a lot of hard racing going on at the front. And I'm telling you, I really didn't think we'd see this late in the run. I didn't think these cars had enough speed. Ooh, Tyler Marble gets into Scott Glasso going into turn 1. They both catch it. Glasso's going to put it back on his door. 3 wide now. The 97 gets into the 48. Then almost gets it back up into the 4. Big wiggle out of both of those cars. And the Ford Mustang of Scott Glasso is going to prevail. Man, a lot of close calls here that we're seeing. This is one of those things here where you can only play with fire for so long before it's going to burn you. Man, Tyler Marble, he has been involved in a couple of close ones here in just the last lap and a half. But another good save. He is wheeling it right now, trying to see how many positions he can get to set himself up for that green flag stop. And I'm still impressed with guys like Andrew Mraz's. Even though they're falling positions at the moment, overall they're still able to hold on enough to try to battle back and not just quite drop like a rock, but still think the 97 just used his stuff up a little bit too much. Michael Mueller, on the other hand, sitting real pretty right now, a second out in front of Jake Hickson. And now while Mueller maybe wasn't saving tire quite as much as some of the guys further back, he had the advantage of clean air that was doing a little bit of the tire saving for him. And so now he's reaping the rewards as he still leads the race here with 85 134 laps complete. We did have a car there. I'm not sure coming off the pits, or was that might have been, was that Cody Colley reconnecting here, I wonder? Nope. Not sure who that was. Bill Benedict, by the way, though, is in the pits. He was in 37th position. Remember, involved in that earlier incident that didn't bring out the caution at the time. He had to go down the pits to get the damage repaired, and as a result, that has put his dark horse Ford Mustang 3 laps down still at the moment, so he's going to need some cautions, and he's going to need them pretty quick, but looking like the 90's chance at a top 5 here, or a top 10 even on the night, is over by not being on the lead lap. So as we take a look at the track map, your leader, no real lap traffic that he's got to contend with, just a couple of stragglers here and there. In fact, right now it looks like that might be the 36th place car of Nick Sitchie, sure enough. That's next up on the ballot to get past right here. And so it'll probably take another lap or two before Michael Mueller is able to actually fully get to his rear bumper. When he does, watch for that pass and see if that holds him up at all. Roger Shelton making his way down to the pits. Should, big keyword there, should be his final scheduled stop of the night. Not sure if this one was scheduled. Ooh, does he slide through the box there? No, he's able to get in just enough. You saw him lock up all 4 tires. And so we're seeing just a couple of pit stops from the guys further back. And you wonder if that starts to draw anyone else in. Here's a battle right now. A couple of them. First one, Brian Conklin just ahead of it. And it's actually the battle for 17th. Ty Iopolito leading it for the moment. Just wondering if they were going to be able to split him 3 wide into turn 1. No dice there. Kenneth Bartholomew just a couple spots behind there in the 73. The 88 of Russo is going to take that spot as the 24 of Chris Saylor jumps in line. On the inside trying to make a move there. Looks like, is that Cody Matthews in the 10? Sure enough, again, new scheme, new team this season. Running with SWM. And ooh, the 73 Bartholomew, he might have just barely kissed the outside wall right there. Coming off of turn 4. Glenn Grigsby just behind this battle, as is Greg Bartlett. Ryan Haynes up to 24th, up 11 from where he started this race at in that 39 machine. Pretty good run right now, searching for his teammate. Doesn't have to search far. Brett Spod currently sitting just behind in the 35 machine. Jeff Marble back in 26th. Still trying to recover from that earlier incident. He's been able to pick up a couple spots since, but I still think he's going to need at least one, if not a couple cautions. Here's Musso, though, going to fan out 3 wide, goes to the apron. It's going to get a little dicey here for Jeff Marble as he's in the middle as they go down to the corner. But he's going to stay in the gas. Brett Spod has to give away just ever so slightly. That allows the 30 or the 15 rather to pick up that spot as the 35 loses one. And the 95 of Musso is going to have to drop behind them both. 90 laps now complete, make it 44 to go as they cross the stripe to take 91. Jake Hitson is catching up as, man, I'm telling you what, we just took the cam off, but I just saw Jeff Marble. I think he had a big moment coming off of 4. And boy, he yanked the wheel and then took a big sigh of relief. Let's see, was there a close call here? Does he just a little bit tight? I mean, again, even if it looks like they're smooth off the corner, they are always wheeling these things, especially because at this point in the run, the right rear has started to go. I mean, you're putting a lot of pressure on it. You're relying on it to get speed on exit of the corner here. And let's see, does Jeff have any sort of trouble here coming out of the turn? Yeah, a little bit of a slip up right there. That little bit of a bobble translates to a lot bigger of a reaction on camera. Man, I wish we could have had it up, but another good save from Jeff Marble, and he's scooting along now, up to 23rd. So if he can break into the top 20, maybe top 15 here before we get a caution, then of course, obviously get that caution, he's got a pretty good chance at this. The leaders just went around the lap car, the 31 of Matthew Gearinger. And so now Jake Hickson within half a second, make it 4/10 there as they dove into turn number 1 behind Michael Mueller. So he's well within drafting range, as is the 12 of Wes Hurd Jr. And I think Wes Hurd Jr. in himself has impressed me tonight in the fact that as hard as he's been running, he's still somehow been able to stay within range of the leaders and still been able to battle when he needs to. And so again, and maybe another one of the Ryko setups here tonight, but running very, very well at the moment. The driver out of Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. Going to see what kind of finish he can get here tonight. Maybe a podium if he stays on track with the run he's got going for now. Scott Glasso just behind. And the Jimmy Johns, number 4, Ford Mustang Dark Horse. And behind him, Tyler Marble currently rounding out the top 5. 94 of 134 complete. Austin Fitzgerald back in 7th. And, you know, contrary to what I thought, a little surprised to have not seen the 74 make up any more ground yet. Again, he's still got some time, but you see Jeffrey Souza now, who has gotten in front of him. Souza, by the way, is up 34 positions from where he started this race at by few and far your biggest mover through the field here on the night. It's a man I thought starting at the back would prevent any chance he had at going for a win here tonight, but man, up to 6th and still flying through the field here. Another driver that if we get a caution may have a really good shot late in this race. Here we go, going to get a couple more pit stops here. Looks like Scott Glasso along with the 12 of Wes Hurd Jr. And do they get a couple? Oh man, trouble here. Who was that? Was that Ryan Haynes or Brett Spod? One of the BMP Racing drivers. Couldn't tell exactly who, but I think it might have been Ryan Haynes. No, that's his teammate Brett Spod who was in the pits. What in the world happens here to the 35 that gets him set in the wrong direction? Is he going to be leaving his box? Yeah, it is. Oh, he just loops it all by himself there. Trying to get it back going, and the rear tires are spinning. Wes Hurd Jr. has to take evasive maneuvers to miss him, but he does so without trouble. That's a tough break there for Brett Spod. That cost him a ton of time, as now his teammate Ryan Haynes makes his final stop of the night here with 97 laps complete. Further up in the field, Wes Hurd Jr. still stuck in the pits. He may have got a speeding penalty. In fact, I think he did. I mean, he came flying into the pits, and I was surprised that he was able to get down to speeding time, but looking like now that may have very well not been the case. So Wes Hurd Jr., a good run, gone bad, as he is going to fall a ton of spots here. We'll need a caution for sure. Christopher Hall makes his way into the box, as does Johnny McCulchuk, Ty Polito, Greg Bartlett, and Austin Fitzgerald, the first of your leaders, I would say, top 5, if you will, to make his stop, along with Wes Hurd Jr., of course, a couple others. 74 going back out now, Johnny McCulchuk as well. Jeffrey Souza makes his stop. So does Tyler Marble. But we still got quite a few up front that have not decided to pit yet, including Michael Mueller, Jake Hickson, Quentin Clark, Andrew Mraz, Danny Gutierrez, Kenneth Bartholomew, Jeff Marble, Brian Conklin. I mean, I would say everybody in your top 10 still, at the least, has decided it's not time to go in just yet. And so if you're a guy like Jeff Marble, I like the strategy call. I don't think you really have another choice. Stay out. Hope that maybe you get a late race caution. I mean, you're in Vegas, so you might as well gamble. Really, the only choice right now after that 15 is, boy, that was a close moment with some lap traffic right there for the 99 of Michael Mueller. Almost got into it with Jake Hickson, who, by the way, he's there. I mean, there's no more gap. Jake Hickson is on his rear bumper, and he wants the lead here. Looking for a move down the front straightaway here. He's going to get to the outside. How hard does Mueller battle him here? Does he have enough tire left to battle him? Doesn't look like it. Jake Hickson is able to jump around the outside. First time in the lead. First time with clean air here on the night. I'm telling you, the reality of it starts to seem more and more real here. Could Jake Hickson, the rookie, come out and make it 3 wins in a row? Talk about 3 being a lucky number, and again, fitting that theme of Vegas. But first, he's got to get clean here through his final green flag pit stop. Getting into the pits, slight lockup with the right rear, or the left rear rather, but looks like he gets in okay. I think it might have been the left front. Either way, the point is, no speeding penalty. It doesn't look like here for the 16 of Jake Hickson. So as he brings it to a halt in his box, 4 tires and fuel, the expected call, before he'll go back out for the final, what's probably going to be about 30 laps of this race. Now, he is going to have to deal with some of the other leaders that undercut, including potentially his teammate here, Austin Fitzgerald. We'll have to see how they all blend back out. But right now, as you see, currently sits 9th, make it 8th here. And watching for the leaders. They are working their way down the front stretch. These guys still have to wrap all the way around the apron through 1 and 2 before they can get back up to speed and merge back to the track. So, again, watching that gap. I know it's hard to see on the screen, but take a look at the right on the track map, that highlighted green dot. It's getting ready to get passed by your leader here. Watch on the outside, too. We're going to go to the blink cam. I believe they just did get passed. And I say your leader for now. That's going to change. Tracy Powers is currently being scored as your leader. So I should say, let's go back here to the position of guys who have already pit. And it looks like as it stands right now, Tyler Marble is still in front. Or Tyler Marble, Austin Fitzgerald undercut. And looks like Fitzgerald, wonder if he's got the winning call as it stands right now. I mean, he picked up a ton of time over Tyler Marble, but more importantly, the guys that he's going to have to focus on. Looks like Jeffrey Souza, Jake Hickson, and Michael Mueller. And now 3 wide action here. Again, trying to get through some of the traffic here. They know that they've got to get clear of it as quick as possible. Hickson almost went 4 wide, but looked like the 07 of Thomas O'Hara bailed out of it. Allowed those guys to get through it a lot easier. That's Jared Bundy, by the way, in the 3 car, who's now pulled himself up into the conversation. Brett Spod showing that incident there. I don't think this was a separate incident, but as we go back to the 35, currently running just in front of the 37. Similar paint schemes, different sponsor, and different team, though. Kenneth Bartholomew back in 31st, struggling a little bit here on the night. as he's now back 4 spots from where he started this race at. You wonder if he got a penalty in the pits as well. A little bit of contact right there with the outside wall. But the guys that we are still waiting on to pit is Thomas O'Hara. I was getting ready to say Tracy Powers, but looks like he's going to make his final stop of the night right here as well. And he's got the Whataburger sponsorship tonight, the 25. Good looking scheme for him. It's the driver out of Atwood, Tennessee. One of the Toyota Camrys in the field here on the night. And so now with his pit stop, that leaves just Thomas O'Hara and Anthony Handley out on track. Handley in the 98, one of those Riot Motorsports drivers. Maybe trying a little strategy play here. He may be hoping for caution as well. But Austin Fitzgerald in third, currently leading the guys who have already pit. Behind him, Roger Shelton in the 42. Roger may not have pit as well yet. Not sure what strategy the 42's got going on, but for the moment, he is being scored in 5th. There's Tyler Marble back in 6th. Him and Souza are battling hard. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Souza has got a rocket ship as well. This could be the dark horse on the night. Didn't see it coming, but, I mean, up 34 positions. He's certainly shown that he's got a fast setup tonight, and he knows how to use it here at Vegas. This is what he's got to deal with right here, is the battling that you get on these late race runs. And right now, Tyler Marble, he's not going to give this thing up easily because he knows this could be the battle for potentially 3rd or 4th here at the end of this race. So he continues to try to push his luck there with Jeffrey Souza, but it looks like he is not going to be able to prevail, rather, at least not this time. Michael Mueller back in 7th, Jake Hickson in 8th, Jared Bundy in 9th, Jeff Shutt running at your top 10. Kyle Oakley, good recovery for the driver of the 17. Looks like he is back up in that 11th spot, and he's up 11 in total from where he started. So what was looking like a bit of a roller coaster of a day, Oakley has made the best of now that he's got himself out in front. Or not out in front, but rather just outside the top 10. It's got to feel like a win as it stands for the moment. If we get a late caution, you never know. Maybe Oakley can make up a couple more positions here. Johnny McCulchuk just behind him in 11th. Had a chance to talk about the great run that Johnny had going earlier. And boy, he is not disappointed. Consistency, this has probably been his best night for that in quite a few races. I mean, showing the true talent here tonight. And noticing something a little interesting that he does with the steering wheel there. Who does that remind you of? Dale Earnhardt Jr., where he takes the right hand in the corner and shifts it over to the left side of the wheel. And so there you go. Practicing what some of the best did. But Johnny McCulchuk, again, currently in that 12th position, up 21 from where he started. And looking for a little bit more. Kyle Oakley not too far in front, but we're getting to that point now where the further back you get, the harder it is to pass. And we got to scramble out back here. The 98 still leading, but all this are guys just trying to get their lap back. A lot of them able to do so successfully. As you see the 6 machine trying to sneak by as well of Todd Shiro. So he does so now. The 77 of Greg Bartlett up on deck, and that will be the rest of the guys that need to get their lap back here at least for some time. And as you see with what it stands now on the scoring tower, Austin Fitzgerald 15 seconds behind your leader, but that's just simply because Andrew Handley has not pit yet, but once he does, that's going to change the strategy. Or excuse me, I meant to say Anthony. I apologize for saying Andrew. That's just going to change the strategy around, as once he does pit, Fitzgerald will take the lead over, and then it'll be a race for the lead. And this thing could very well come down to a pretty crazy battle by the end of this race, as Scott Glasso is right on the tailgate here. The bumper, actually, again, we're in the cars here today, of Austin Fitzgerald. Michael Mueller still back and forth. Him and Jake Hickson slowly tracking these guys down, as is Jeffrey Souza. But I still think, after seeing Souza get passed by those two, the two rookies that were leading here before the pit cycle, that those two are going to be the two that end up battling this thing out for the win, especially with these two racing as hard as they are right now. Scott Glasso going to try to take the lead. He is still looking for his first win. Wasn't able to quite get one last season. Another guy who came close a couple of times, but like he's got a lot of speed here tonight. But all this battling, again, it just continues to help the two rookies of Michael Mueller, Jake Hickson catch up now. They are doing a little bit of battling amongst themselves here. The 16 wants it. The 99 doesn't want to give it away. And so if they keep wearing out tires here, this could be interesting. Maybe Souza is able to hang with them and pull back into the battle here by the time this thing's all said and done. Fitzgerald still on the outside, and man, I thought that the outside would defend enough to get back clear here a little bit quicker than what it's been so far, but Fitzgerald does get clear, but it looks like Glasso's still going to try to make the pass here as they get back to the inside of turn number 1. Anthony Handley still not made that final stop yet. He's going to run this thing all the way until it's empty, just hoping that he can get a caution, have a chance to get back even with the field, but have fresh tires, maybe some track position. Don't think the strategy call is going to work out, though, unfortunately, tonight for the 98. By the way, we were keeping an eye on Jeff Marble's progress. He's up to 21st. Let me see if we can get one more spot to break into the top 20. Again, not the night he wanted to have. The amount of practice these guys put in and the work they put into the setup, definitely not showing the true speed that a lot of the Team Marble iRacing drivers had tonight. Tyler Marble representing it pretty well. As here we go, your leader, Anthony Hanley, is going to make his pit stop and final pit stop at that here on the night. So the 98 going to take 4 tires and fuel here, I would have to assume, as well. It'll be 20 laps to go with Austin Fitzgerald taking over the lead, but here you go. Top 4 all throw them under a blanket here for just a moment, but Hickson, I mean, just nothing that Fitzgerald can even do at this point. The 16 blows his doors off, goes by like 74 was sitting still. And that's just the difference in lap times due to tire wear at this point. Of course, a good setup helps with that, but look at the speed difference here. Austin Fitzgerald, 0.3 of a second slower than Jake Hickson. Just that last lap, 0.4 before that. You get the idea. That 16 is running a lot faster right now. That's due to the fact that he decided to pit a little bit later, and it seems like the long-run strategy may be the winning strategy here on the night. Taking a look at the dashboard and speeds here again on the night. 86 still the track temp. Very cool. Maybe a little bit unseasonably cool here for Las Vegas. As again, I know we're just leaving the winter months, approaching spring, but surprised to see that at the time in the middle of the day. 146 sim time. Thought the track temp would be maybe more in the higher 90s, maybe low 100s, but 177 off the corner. These guys are still hitting close to 190, if not quite, as they go down the front stretch. So still a lot of speed, but the fall off overall is definitely one of the heavier fall offs that we see of all the tracks we head to on the season. Now with just 17 laps to go when they cross the line next time. Battle for the lead's going to be shaping up. While we have a moment, take a quick chance here to take a look at the points and then the schedule coming up for the FastTrack Sim Racing Cup Series. So looking first at what the regular season points are looking like right now after 2 races in the books, Daytona and Atlanta. It's Jake Hickson who got both wins, leading in points by almost a 20-point margin. Michael Mueller in second. So how about the rookies currently sitting 1-2, not only in points but in the race as well right now. Jeff Marble back in third, Kenneth Bartholomew in fourth, Danny Gutierrez 5th, Austin Fitzgerald in 6th, Jeff Shutt 7th, Taio Polito in 8th, Johnny Mikulchuk 9th, and Kyle Oakley rounding out your top 10. Upcoming schedule. Next up, we're going to head to Phoenix next week for 156 laps, again in the desert. And then we head to the fastest short track of the season, Bristol Motor Speedway, for 250 laps. That one's going to have a lot of chaos. Looking forward to it. Followed by, we're not sure yet, after that it's Richmond, Martinsville, Texas, Talladega coming up as well in April. That's going to be the, I believe, the second of the No Bull 5 races. And then last but not least, what the rookie battle's looking like. Jake Hickson, Michael Mueller, who lead the regular season, also leading the rookie battle. Kenneth Bartholomew in 3rd, Taio Polito 4th, Andrew Mraz 5th, Anthony Hanley in 6th, Mark Zabak in 7th, Brandon Saylor in 8th, Adam Johnson 9th, and Greg Bartlett rounding out your top 10. Remember, BMP sponsoring the Rookie Spotlight Challenge. I believe that's, not sure if that's the exact name. The point is, that's what the sponsorship is. To the Rookie of the Year, we'll get $50 at the end of the season, so something to fight for. Speaking of fighting, that's what we got a lot of right now at the front. The 99 of Michael Mueller has taken away the lead from Jake Hickson right there just before we came back to break. You saw the move, weren't expecting it. I thought Hickson had this thing cleared once he got the lead, but not the case. Michael Mueller maybe saving just a little bit of tire, playing a little bit of a different strategy here on the 99. Good news here for Hickson is that he does have a teammate in Austin Fitzgerald just behind him. Now, Fitzgerald may not be able to do as much as he would like, but he can certainly try to set him up, give him a push down the straights, and hope that he's got what it takes to get around the 99. But it seems like it keeps coming down to these two, week in and week out, at least in terms of the points battle. Tonight on the track at the end, it's going to come down to a rookie versus rookie battle as it stands for the moment now. Seems like maybe the tires are starting to wear out a little bit more evenly now, as once these two got the lead, I thought initially they were going to pull away, but that's not been the case. Still hanging relatively strong, at least for the moment. But we start to wonder here, can Michael Mueller start to stretch it out? And be coming to 12 laps to go when we cross the start-finish line this time. Going to the track map, looking, is there any lap traffic ahead? Looks like just one car as it stands for the moment. Not going to be enough to really affect anything. And that is Alan Pajari in the 38. Remember, his night pretty much came to an end early after that contact with Jeff Marble. Got him a lot of damage, 10 minutes worth. And so he did make it back out eventually just to gather some extra points, maybe try to help one of his teammates here, try to secure the victory, but that's about all Pajari can do here tonight. And fortunate break, because we know how much speed he had at the start of the race, put down a good qualifying effort. And the worst thing that you can have as a driver is when you come out to these longer races, these league races, you put in so much time over the week, and to not be able to show what you know you had, it's probably one of the biggest fears of all these drivers each and every week. Further back, Jeff Marble, by the way, has now broken into the top 17. Andrew Russo, good run for the 88 in 16th. Taio Polito, another one of the rookies and the fourth of the Dynamic Autosports teammates in the race here tonight, sits in 15th. Roger Shelton 14th. Danny Gutierrez 13th with Quentin Clark in 12th. There's Ryan Haynes back in 18th. He's racing on the outside there in the 95 of Jacob Musso. And do I see a little on Jacob Musso's car? I think I see some. Let's see if we can zoom in on this. I couldn't see it there. I'll go to the right front here. Thought I saw a little logo there on the front of that car. Guess not. Jacob Musso. Good run. No, I did see it. I knew it. He's got a little Ghost Racing Network logo there just behind the front left and right tires. There you go, Jacob. Certainly appreciate it. Anytime we can get a little free sponsorship on any part of the car, means a lot. Glad to see Jacob Musso running that. Let us know we appreciate, or let you know we certainly appreciate that up here. But it's 9 laps to go, and they still have not sorted out the battle for the lead. In fact, this is normally the point where we go through the field, check on everybody, but we're going to keep our eyes peeled up here because this could potentially be the race for the win if that 16 can get back up to the 99. Now, you wonder here, what's going through the mindset of the 16? Is he somehow saving a little bit, or has he ran out of stuff? The 99, that is not what he wanted right there. Dove to the inside. He's going to get caught in the draft, the dirty air, if you will. That cost him big time there. He slipped up off the corner. Jake Hickson got to run down the backstretch. Isn't enough to make a move. Closes in to about a 10th, but not quite enough to duck to the inside just yet. Just behind these two, Fitzgerald and Souza battling it out. Actually, no, Souza has fallen back. Fitzgerald all by himself right now. The 18 is a lapper. It's Souza and Glasso who are battling it out. Those two are going to make up your top 5 if things stand as they are at the moment. Then Tyler Marble back in 6th. And so now Jake Hickson has been able to get back around on the outside. Now Michael Mueller slips back to 2nd. What a battle between the two rookies here as we'll be coming to 6 laps to go this next time. Cat and mouse game here. When you make your moves, you got to make them precise. You got to make them work because you start to wear tires out. Here we go. Back to the inside goes Michael Mueller. Doesn't need a side draft. He's taking the shorter route, and he's already got the run, and he's got enough to just about get clear of the 16. He'll dive it off into turn 1. Was that move enough? The 16 of Jake Hickson still working the top of the racetrack. And again, the bottom, the shorter way around the top, though, is where you go if you're trying to carry momentum. And now we'll see, does Michael Mueller start trying to run the same line as Jake Hickson? Hickson tried to go to the bottom that time, ran into tire tracks and lost the nose just a little bit. You see now Austin Fitzgerald still hanging strong 3rd. Boy, how cool would it be for him as not necessarily a team owner, but one of the guys that got to see this team grow this season. If he could see him and his teammate go 1-2 for the 2nd week in a row, and Dynamic Autosports to go 1-2 general for a 3rd week, but the 16 just jumped the cushion a little bit too much. He got into the outside wall coming off of turn 2. He's going to lose another spot here to Austin Fitzgerald, and that might wrap up his chances of going for the win. And now that places it in the hands here of Austin Fitzgerald. What can he do here? The gap, 0.3 of a second. The laps remaining, 4 to go. If we make it to the white flag, by the way, this race will be official. So Michael Mueller, I think the moment is just hoping that we can get these next 2.5 laps complete without any further incident. And he can see if he can lock up his first win of the season. Fitzgerald trying to work the middle lane there through 3 and 4, looking for a little bit of a run. Jake Hickson up top. Hickson not able to get any pull on his teammate, but Fitzgerald did close it just a little bit that time. As they get into turn 1, he gets it down to about 2.5 tenths. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Mueller's trying to break the air up a little bit there by running in, or using his rearview mirror to try to run the same lane as Fitzgerald, but he got a little tight that time. It was Mueller who tagged the wall. That'll pull Fitzgerald within 0.2 of a second now as they enter turn 3. Fitzgerald's going to get a run at this here down the front stretch here. Is it enough to close up? And if he does get enough to close up, where does he make the move? Does he try the inside? Does he try the outside? Jake Hickson gets to his bumper, gives him a little bit of a shot. That keeps him within 0.2 of a second after fading. This time, though, the 74 does roll the top. The 99 on the bottom. Watch for the... Oh, he blew it again, similar to what his teammate did. The 74 gets into the wall. You see the right front crumpled. That'll do it for Austin Fitzgerald's chances. Hickson takes the spot, but will he have enough to catch the 99 of Michael Mueller with just one lap to go at Las Vegas? That's right, white flag is in the air. Rookie versus rookie. It's been the battle for most of the day, but at the end, it's looking like Michael Mueller might have just enough. Jake Hickson had a chance to make it 3 in a row. Michael Mueller was tired of hearing about it. He's sitting second at points right now, but he's looking to close that battle up that much more here tonight. He had speed at Speed Weeks, had speed the last 2 weeks, but it just didn't quite work out. Not the case tonight. He came to Vegas to gamble, did that, and he is going to get the win. First win of the season for Michael Mueller at Las Vegas. What a job at the end to hold off the charging rookie. Showing what a battle we are going to have for Rookie of the Year this season. But how about it? Michael Mueller, first career win. And for it to come as a rookie, in of itself is impressive. I mean, a lot of these guys, you don't just come out here and get a win in your rookie season. It takes time to learn the traits that these guys have. But, man, Michael Mueller came out and got the job done here tonight. Figured out the long run after being good on the short run earlier. Never look back. That'll put the first official win in the books for Riot Motorsports on the season. Not counting the Clash, of course. Gets it done with the Sim Coach's paint scheme. Burns it down at the start-finish line. Valiant effort for Hickson, and Fitzgerald. Just pushing a little bit too hard there at the end. Got him into the outside wall. So as the celebration continues here for Michael Mueller, gives us a chance to take a look at the finishing results here on the night. Michael Mueller, officially your winner here at fabulous Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Jake Hickson brings home second. The final gap between the leader and second place was 0.3 of a second as they crossed the stripe. Austin Fitzgerald brings home third. Jeffrey Souza in fourth. Scott Glasser rounding out your top 5 here on the night. It's Tyler Marble in sixth. Jeff Shutt seventh. Jared Bundy in eighth. Johnny McCulchuk in ninth. Rounding out your top 10 is Quentin Clark. Danny Gutierrez in 11th. Andrew Mraz in 12th. Kyle Oakley 13th. Ty Iopolito in 14th. Roger Shelton 15th. Jeff Marble back in 16th with Andrew Russo in 17th. Rounding out your top 18 here on the night, it's going to be Jacob Musso. Brian Conklin 19th. Cody Matthews in 20th. Ryan Haynes for BMP Racing finishes 21st. Thomas O'Hara 22nd. Ryan Shiro for Shiro Motorsports in 23rd. Kenneth Bartholomew in 24th. Tracy Powers 25th. Brandon Saylor 26th. Brett Spott in 27th. Greg Bartlett in 28th. Christopher Hall 29th. And Anthony Handley rounding out your top 30. Todd Shiro 31st. Glenn Grigsby 32nd. Wes Hurd Jr. in 33rd. Troy Baker 34th. Nick Sitchie 35th. Bill Benedict in 36th. Alan Pajari 37th. Matthew Gehringer in 38th. Rodney Pitcock in 39th. And Cody Colley rounds out the field tonight. He finishes in 40th. All right, well, we're going to go get your top 3 in here for interviews, including your winner tonight, the rookie Michael Mueller. Stick with us. We will be right back at Las Vegas. Welcome back to Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Going to start first tonight with your third place finisher for Dynamic Autosport. It's Austin Fitzgerald. Austin, you got a copy?
Hey, Austin, I do.
Well, man, I know you would have liked to get the win. It's your home track, but you bring home a podium finish. And yet again, Dynamic Autosport's taking 2 out of the 3 podium positions. A good run overall tonight, but, man, do you think you could have done anything else there towards the end to have a shot at Michael Mueller?
Well, I could have not hit the wall. That would have helped. I was pushing really hard, and it just got a little loose. it feels great until it doesn't. It snaps so quick here. But the setup, it's a rocket, you know. So thanks to all the guys who worked on it with Dynamic Autosports and making it this fast of a car is definitely his strong point was on the long run. And Jake definitely had a chance there too. He'll talk about it, but there was an issue with fuel. But yeah, no, those other guys, Michael Mueller and all them, man, they were really fast, and it seemed like they were faster on the short run, and we had something on them on the long run. But you know, I pitted a few laps earlier, and I think that helped me get to the front. But I was trying to keep Scott Glasgow behind me, and just kind of burned up my stuff. So yeah, I wish I had another shot at that. But hey, I'll take a podium finish any day.
Absolutely. Well, we've so far went to a super speedway, 2.5 miles. Next week, a transition. We head to the first short track of the season. Different kind of racing. How do you feel about your chances next week at Phoenix?
Feel really good if my computer doesn't crash like last championship race, you know. I feel like I feel like I got to prove something there now. Like, so I don't know. I really want to do well there. Hopefully get the win next week. We'll see how it goes with the setup. But yeah, definitely looking forward to it. I prefer the short track stuff.
Well, I didn't want to bring it up. Thought it was still a sore topic, but hey, we appreciate you talking to us here tonight. You finished top 3. Is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out before we let you go?
Thanks to all the guys at Dynamic Autosports, like I said, all the work they put into the setups. Thanks to Brandon for spotting and helping with strategy and setups as well. And yeah, as always, just thanks to my family. Thanks to everybody who puts on this league. Thank you for the great broadcasts, and looking forward to the next one.
Sounds like a plan. Well, thank you for talking to us, and we will see you next week at Phoenix.
See ya.
All right, now that brings us to your second place finisher here tonight, Jake Hickson. Jake, this is Austin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear, Austin. How you doing?
Good. Well, man, you came close to making it 3 in a row. You already made history before this race, but, man, you almost broke it again here tonight. Now, your teammate Austin Fitzgerald mentioned that you had a little bit of an issue there towards the end regarding fuel. Did that have to do with the reason that maybe you couldn't quite get to the 99 there at the end?
Yeah, it's exactly what had to do with it. So I had the out of fuel checked in the black box, and unfortunately, it kind of bit me on that one. Yeah, unfortunately, I was pushing real hard, trying to stay up with Michael, and then all of a sudden, I looked down and I noticed I'm actually short, right? I'm not going to make it. So I got to start saving a little bit, and definitely the last 10 laps I was saving pretty good, and just couldn't push hard enough there to get to Michael. So it is what it is. It was a really fun race. Glad we got to do it. But now we've lived and learned, and we have learned a good lesson tonight.
Certainly a good lesson, but more importantly, another good finish for the 16 machine and, of course, Dynamic Autosports as a whole. But before we let you head out tonight, is there anyone you'd like to thank or shout out?
Yeah, I'd like to thank my wife, Maggie, for, of course, always letting me do this. It's so much fun. And all my friends and family watching back home. And, of course, you, Austin. It's so much fun to watch you do what you do there in the booth. So thank you so much for what you do up there. It's because it's so much fun.
Certainly appreciate it, and thank you for talking to us. Again, congrats on the second place finish. We'll see you next week at Phoenix.
Thank you, Austin. Have a good one.
You as well. All right, now that's going to bring us to your winner here on the night. First win of the season, and it comes in his rookie season. Michael Mueller. Michael, this is Austin in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. Well, podium last week turns into a win this week. Man, you had to be holding your breath there for a couple of those laps towards about the last 15 to go, but somehow you hold off the charge from Jake Hickson and Austin Fitzgerald. How'd you do it?
Oh, man. Jake was so much better than me in 3 and 4. I mean, I did all I could just to hold him back there. Definitely changed entry and changed exit, changed my line, and just try to put dirty air on him as much as possible just to kind of get him back and try to hold some sort of a lead on him. So it's always fun racing against Jake and Austin. It's always, we battled last week, and I think we finished top 3 last week too and finished top 3 again, just different order, and it's always good racing those guys.
Well, first official season win for Riot Motorsports comes here tonight, of course, at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Now, next week we head to Phoenix, and I want to ask you about the same question that we asked third-place finisher Austin Fitzgerald. First time we're heading to really a different package track, of course, short track style racing next week. So how you feeling about your chances to go back-to-back?
I won't be here for Phoenix next week, unfortunately, but definitely will set up the guys, as much as possible going during the week here and get the best setup possible like we did this week. We definitely put our heads together this week and tested every day this week, ran NIS, and put as much work in these cars as humanly possible every single week. So we tested a little bit already for Phoenix, and it's going to be definitely interesting. And I think it's going to come down to strategy again, kind of like tonight, if we get a lot of green flag laps. So definitely going to be fun for them, and I'll definitely be watching.
Well, you'll get an extra week to celebrate, too, your first win of the season. So on that note, before we let you head out, is there anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, absolutely. All my guys at Riot Motorsports. I mean, without those guys, I mean, this wouldn't be possible. I mean, we work so hard together during the week. So put all the laps in, all the sessions, and all the races, all the work. And without those guys, we wouldn't be this fast. So sponsors-wise, we got Sim Coaches. Great pedals. Check them out, guys. Great pedals. Bowlify is my personal sponsor for bowling. Get all the jerseys you want. Use my promo code Mueller300 at checkout. Save $5 off 50. Love those guys. So, and of course, you guys in the booth, you guys do a great job every single week. It's always good to go back and watch this, and Jeff for the league. So, hopefully come back and do it again.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to cut you off there. I was going to say, well, we certainly appreciate it, as does the league. And boy, what a fun race it was. And congrats again on the win. We'll see you not next week, but the week after.
Yeah, can't wait to come back, guys, and can't wait to watch this over again. We got a win, got a good win for Riot Motorsports. Finally got us on the board. So it'd be good to come back.
There you go. That's all you got to do. Well, again, thanks for talking to us, Michael, and we will see you next time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
And that one's on me there. Getting a little rusty here with the interview skills. Accidentally cut them off twice. You know, we try to predict it for right as they finish talking to try to keep it smooth, but that's my bad. So, Michael, when you're watching it back, I do apologize for it. But nonetheless, that's going to wrap up our coverage here on the night from Las Vegas. Again, what a race it was. Congrats on the win again to Michael Mueller as a rookie. What a job. What a job for Jake Hickson, Austin Fitzgerald, Dynamic Auto Sports, and Riot Motorsports. I mean, this is going to be a duel all season, and it's not been the best start out of the gate for Team Marble iRacing, but it's just a matter of time before they're going to start to get things going, start to really make some progress. Thank you all so much for tuning in here tonight. As always, I hope you enjoyed. We'll be back next week, same time, same place here on Ghost Racing Network, but at Phoenix. Until then, that's it for me, Austin Green, here on Ghost Racing Network. Have a good night.